I think that more important than anything on any trip is just travel compatibility. And you're just going to have some friends that like want to do fancier stuff than you or less fancy stuff than you. And like maybe those just aren't the friends you travel with.
This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back.
I'm so sorry. Hi, guys.
Raina's going through puberty, you guys.
I'm closer to menopause.
Actually, yeah, I'm 43 now, by the way, if anyone's keeping track.
We have not recorded an episode in like 10. I mean, today we recorded another one, but like 10 days, I like forgot how to do it.
I know. Let's hope we figure it out. I hope someone teaches me how to ride this horse while I'm on this horse. Raina Greenberg. One of the funniest texts she ever sent. She was on her own journey. And we were in Jackson Hole. I was like, I'm not horseback riding. And you sent a selfie from the horse and said, I hope someone teaches me how to ride this horse while I'm on this horse.
You know, like you just don't think you're being funny until other people tell you how funny it is. And I feel like we'll talk about like the trip we just got back from, but like there were so many moments where like somebody would say something and no one else, they wouldn't think it was funny. You said this thing to me about my jewelry and like I was just going to let it pass. And then Brittany was like, what?
Okay, you know what? Let's just say it right now. This is a short one. But so I picked up a ring of Raina's. I was in the room with her and Brittany, and I picked up this ring, and I said, is this nice or is it cheap garbage? And is that right? And the reason why I use that language is because that's the language Raina uses. I don't even say that. Like, that's a Raina original. Like, if I compliment her jewelry, she's like, it's just cheap garbage. Like, that's kind of you have like two modes of things, really nice things, and then like cheap garbage you get for wherever. And so Raina knew exactly what I fucking meant and did not take it to be an insult. And then Brittany goes, did you just call her jewelry cheap garbage? And I'm like, it's because what she would say.
It didn't even faze me. And we were like laying in bed in the morning. But like I was like, it is a funny thing to say, like to hear in the wild.
It's just like literally that's how you describe your stuff. Like I have this ring that I wore one day for some reason. You just you gave it to me. You were like, just keep it as cheap garbage. Like I don't even say that. It's your language.
I think I got it from my mom. She got it from her mama. Well, we have a really fun episode for you guys today. We're going to get into it. I just want to mention, so I was on a comedy tour in the spring. I'm going to go back out in the fall, but I missed 2 dates because I was sicker than I've ever been, and that is Nashville and Salt Lake. So I'm coming out of retirement 2 nights only. In July, I will be in Nashville at Zanies on July 29th, and then I will be in Salt Lake July 30th at Wise Guys. 2 nights only to see me this summer. I can't wait to see you. Ashley and I love these cities. We love performing in them, so I really can't wait to be there. You can grab tickets at rainagreenberg.com. And then all my fall tour dates are on there as well. So come have a fun night of comedy. Bring your girlfriends, bring your boyfriend, bring your mom, bring whoever. And I'll see you guys there.
Okay. I love that. I have a bit of a personal update. You guys have seen that I am on my curly hair journey and I am just really leaning into it. But Raina, these K-tips hair, you know, I have 6 pieces of hair, you guys. I have six extensions. They don't curl like the rest of my hair. Can you see? Like, they get wavy. And when she put them in, she was like, they're going to curl up really nice. I was like, apparently not like the rest of my naturally curly hair. See these?
Listen,
they're straighter.
I realized you have curly hair 3 weeks ago, and I never knew. Okay, and so I think you didn't correctly explain this to your hairdresser. I never knew that you had curly hair because, like, when I get my K-tips in, yeah, she puts wavy ones in to match my normal texture, so that when they get curly, they match. Yeah, of course.
They have a texture to them.
Yeah, because you get either straight, wavy, or curly hair.
Oh, so you think she just gave me like straight one? But I like to straighten my hair too. So what would happen if she gave me wavy ones and then I did my hair straight? Actually, I don't even think I'm going to be straightening my hair.
Then you would straighten it the way that you would straighten normal hair. But like, you know, you can always tell that people have hair extensions, bad hair extensions in on a hot, like humid day because their regular hair curls up and the other ones stay straight.
Extensions don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that egregious, but I have noticed like they don't curl up as much. So I'm working through it, you guys. Well, but I've gotten really nice messages from you guys about my hair, and I really appreciate it. I love it. I had a blow dryer to it in weeks.
I think it's so chic. I'm so obsessed with it. Also, I've not noticed. I've been with you a lot. I have not noticed that they don't curl at the same rate. So I did just learn that you have wavy hair. I learned that a couple weeks ago.
I'd say curly. Some would say curly.
No, don't do this. It's wavy. Listen, the curly hair community came after me.
Excuse me. No. You don't have curly hair, Raina. You don't have curly hair. You guys get in these comments right now. My hair is right up close to the screen. That's curly.
That's wavy. I want people to weigh in because the curly hair community would not let me have this. I was like, I have curly hair, and everybody in droves was like, bitch, that's waves.
This.
It's waves.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, but you guys let me know. I mean, no, I don't have like a perm.
Also, I did not for like 10 days straight. No makeup, no bras, no underwear. And I've really blown my hair dry twice. I mean, I feel great. My body and face have returned to the earth.
It feels good. Okay, let's thank our partners, then we'll get into it with you guys. We'll recap the trip.
Thank you to Rocket Money. Reach your financial goals faster at rocketmoney.com/GGE, and ZBiotics. Get 15% off at zbiotics.com/GGE with code GGE, and FP Movement. Shop their full line of activewear at fpmovement.com.
And thank you to NoCD. If you're struggling with OCD, book a free 15-minute call at learn.nocd.com/GGE. And thank you to Ride or Die. Watch the new series starting July 15th, only on Prime Video. And thank you to Whatnot. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first purchase when you download the app. Okay, so we are back from the French Riviera. We had such an incredible trip. This is my favorite trips, like in terms of like where we went and everything that we did, and we had a good group. I mean, I think France is my favorite country.
Wow. Bold statement.
Yeah, I mean, I had been to Paris plenty. Probably greatest city in the world, would you say? I mean, what?
New York City is the greatest city in the world.
You live
outside
there.
Well,
outside of the States.
It's hard for me to rank them. I will say I have like a top 3 or 4 that I like love, and at different times of the year. Like I think that I've had incredible times in like Italy and France and the UK and all this. Okay, but all right, France is your favorite. Paris is your favorite.
Well, so I've been to Paris a bunch and I love it. I think it's like truly the most beautiful city in the world. Most beautiful for sure. I just think like most special. Like I just love it. But I hadn't been to the south of France, except for, we mentioned this before, I went to Nice once in high school. So I couldn't have said how much I loved France until I'd seen more of the country, and just being in that part of the country, I just love it. I just like nice things. Like I like modern conveniences, like while experiencing the culture, like I love croissants and pastries and like coffee and people watching and like just all the stuff we did in Saint-Tropez and Nice. Like I love it so much. I fucking love France, and I know enough of the language to like read enough stuff. I'm not looking at a complete foreign language like I might be in Italy, where I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck that says. Like I like that, having that knowledge. Fucking love France. So rooting for them in the World Cup.
If you could pick one country to vacation in, France.
Forever, France.
Okay, I'm going Italy. That's not even.
You're going Italy. Yeah, a lot of people go Italy, and I need to get back there, but I still think it's France for me.
Also, I will say about you, I care about, you like good food, but I care about food paramount to anything. And Italy is like the best food in the world to me. That's the cuisine I'm picking. Well, in the world is also a broad statement. I love Greece. Well, I don't know. I like to go to Greece. People are like, congratulations, guys. You travel a lot. But I don't know. I mean, Italy and Greece is for me.
Yeah, I haven't been to Italy in a minute, so I really can't speak on it. Food is super important to me, but I live in an incredible food city too, and I go to other places. Like I feel like Singapore was a food trip for sure.
Oh yeah.
And there's food and then there's vibes. And yeah, France is not my favorite food by a long shot, but the vibes, like the beauty, like the way I feel, like I just loved it so much. So we went to Nice, we landed in Nice, and then spent 2 nights there. That was when it was the hottest, and then it really did cool down a little bit. We weren't there in like the peak of that heat wave. It was still bad. It was like a red warning, and it was so hot, but it felt like the week before was completely unlivable. And then we went to Saint-Tropez, and that was our first time there. We were there for 3 nights, like 3.5 days. And then we spent a night in Ez, which is this little medieval castle town close to Nice.
Cool.
We spent 1 night there at this incredible resort, like the main resort. It's really a small town. You can see it all in a day or a half a day. And then Raina went off to Rome, and then I went to Paris for 1 day, 1 night with our friend Megan, and then I flew back out of Paris. So it was good. It was like 7 nights. I feel like that's a perfect length of a trip, and we just loved it. Like Saint-Tropez, we fucking loved it.
I hate being like, I wonder if people are like, yeah, duh, it's Saint-Tropez. Like, I loved it. I loved it differently than I thought I would love it. Cause
yeah,
you know, you hear about Saint-Tropez and like rap songs, and that's where like all these like really rich, famous people go to. And I was like, is this going to be a little pretentious for me? Is this going to be a little like stuck up and not fun? And like, we just thought the town was so beautiful. People were so nice. And like, it wasn't, I don't know. I get really bummed out when I walk around these old towns and every other store is H&M, and that like wasn't what it was. And certainly there is a street with like Chanel and Dior and Prada and Fendi and all that.
It was the most designer I've seen.
I've never, but like they were still in these like small stores. I didn't feel like it was like they put a strip mall in this like old town. And I just loved being on the water. I loved our accommodations. It is one of my favorite places I've been. And people, we're going to talk about like girls trips in general, but like I think it's a great place for a girls trip. I thought there was a lot to do and a lot of activities, and you can shop and take boats and do day trips and beach clubs, and there was just a ton of stuff to do.
Yeah, you can really choose your own adventure there because you really can just go to a beach club every single day and party. And we did that one day. We went to Shalona and danced on the tables and did all the things. And we took a boat. We went to La Garite another day, which is more so in Cannes. And then we had like a casual dinner, and we had breakfast every single morning at a place called Senequier, which is like a famous place, but is also just so incredible. We had pastries and coffees and sat there and people watched. It is this little old fishing town. Like it was so fun to come from Nice, which is a big city and also on the water and so stunningly beautiful, but just it was so relaxed and small village feel, and you just walk around and it's all these designer stores, but like I'd rather be amongst a Chanel and a Dior that I'm not going to shop in than a Zara in this town. You know, like I just liked that. I liked to just for like window shopping, if nothing else, you know.
It really was
so
special.
We just really loved it. Yeah.
And I think we spent the perfect amount of time in each place. Like, I actually could have done a little less time in Nice.
I loved it, not me.
We did Nice for 2 nights and Saint-Tropez for 3 nights and then Ez for 1 night. And that was the perfect amount of time for me. I wouldn't have wanted really more or less time in any of the places. I think we like really played the hits in each place, and it was like time to go to the next place.
I will say this was one of the smoother trips I've had in Europe in terms of I never got off a plane and wasn't in the airport. I was always on a jet bridge that went right into the airport. Like I never had to get on an airport shuttle. Raina, last summer, I think that I didn't ever get off the plane at the airport. I carried my suitcase and my giant base carry-on down the steps into the heat, onto a bus. Like Frankfurt last summer, I had a layover. I was on the bus for 30 minutes in the heat. Like I really was like, this is it for me. Like this is how I'm going out. And this trip was so easy and smooth. It's like sometimes you just get those types of trips, and other times you don't. Like Air France, we flew the whole time, but we had kind of a rocky start. Like we flew out of Newark, New Jersey. And we get there, we fly out at midnight, and they were like, ladies, the lounge is closed. Here we are flying like business class, like thought we were going to go to the lounge.
10 p.m. The whole airport was shut down.
They were like, the lounge is closed. Here's $50 vouchers to use in the terminal. We get to the terminal. One restaurant is open, not one seat, and then another restaurant was closing. And then in our terminal, there was not one place to sit, and we were sitting on the floor. And we started our trip to the French Riviera sitting on the floor of the Newark, New Jersey airport. We were off to a great start.
It humbled us.
We landed in Paris. The airport is the hottest I think it's ever been. It had to be like an illegal level of hot. I had to buy a t-shirt because I was in a sweatshirt, which is my fault. We were
so was I.
Fighting
Leggings
for our
and a
lives.
Sweatshirt. I was like, dripping actually, I'm
sweat.
And then we realized we're not on the same.
Dripping on my legs.
Oh, I forgot about the self tanner. I just gotten a spray tan. They were like, don't sweat under any circumstances. And I was like, what I'm going to do is sweat the most I've ever sweat in my life. And then we realized we weren't on the same flight and that you were flying out earlier, actually. And I was in the lounge, like by myself, like trying to not faint. I was just like hitting myself in the face. Like the girl next to me was talking to herself. She was like, stay awake, girl. Like it was so hot in that airport.
Yeah, so the lounge, we're like, what is actually happening? Like, we know that they don't have the type of AC we have here in America, but it was like, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And so I jet off. Again, we slept on the plane, but still 5-6 hours of sleep, whatever. We're tired. We're hot. I walk. I'm like, I can't believe I wore my Quince sweats. I buy this t-shirt. The guy, the t-shirts, like where I bought the t-shirt, he knew I was like fighting for my life. I was like, I just have to wear, I'm going to put it on in the dressing room. I'm going to wear it out. He was like, I got you. I'll cut the tags off for you. We were like on a mission together. I get to the gate. People were like dropping like flies. When did you see that picture? Was that woman laying on that fan, like hogging all the air?
People were laying on the fans. People were sitting on the floor because like heat rises. People were trying to like get down close to the ground. Then they like wouldn't board my flight. We were like an hour delayed taking off. I mean, it was so hot. But like, listen, you got to fight for it sometimes if you want to go on vacation.
But then it was just the whole rest of the trip. I was like, if I don't have to get on a shuttle this whole trip, like every other time I've gone to Europe, like you are fighting for your life with your bags on a fucking shuttle in 90-degree heat.
Okay, I have to tell you something. So, I mean, you guys know that I was like moving and I had like a lot of logistics to deal with. And so Ashley planned this trip. I did not plan this trip. I had nothing to do with this trip. Like Ashley was like, I found hotels. I'm going to book them. I found restaurants. I'm going to book them. This boat, book it, day clubs, whatever. Ashley booked everything and set an itinerary. But you planned the whole trip. I didn't do one.
Yeah.
I didn't do one thing. I legitimately, I didn't know how many nights we were staying in each place. I did not know what our plans were. I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know if we had a hotel or an Airbnb. I had no idea. You just took care of it. I mean, that is real trust. I was just like, send me the bill. Every day I was like, so what are we doing today? I had no idea what the plans were. I mean,
really?
I knew it would be a good trip. Loosely. I knew we were going to go to the White Lotus Hotel. Loosely, I knew we had a boat day. I knew that there was like, but you were like, listen, I've been on TikTok all night long. I've been up all night. I did all the research. I was like, great, let her cook. Just tell me how much it costs.
Guys, here's the real story is that there was a doc that Raina just chose not to look at. So in my doc, it was titled Bonjour Bitches, and it had all of this laid out. So there were actually no surprises. The doc said where we're staying, with addresses, with links, what we were doing, dinner reservations every night, the beach club, all of it was in a doc that you just chose not to look at. Yeah, it's not like you had a long flight to look at it. Like there was no way you possibly could have looked at it sitting on the floor of the New Jersey airport.
I took a NyQuil right before we got on that flight, and I woke up in Paris. It was amazing. I mean, you and I there's nobody that I will ever. You could be married to Shashank for the rest of your life, and you still will not have traveled with another person as. I hope you'll be married to your husband for the rest of your, and you still will not have ever traveled with somebody more than you traveled with me. I mean, we used to be on like 70 flights a year together. I'm just like, she'll book the stuff I like. I'm not worried about it.
You don't know that Shashank and I aren't going on tour. You don't know.
You're going on tour with Shashank. Shashank, I tried to get him to propose to you on stage, and he was like, don't even talk to me about this.
I'm totally just kidding. No. Yeah, I think you will hold that title forever. We will hold that title with each other forever.
What are you going to call that tour? You better call that tour I Miss Raina tour. The I Miss Being with Raina tour. You go on tour with your husband.
You're touring this year. I can tour if I want while you're on tour.
You can't go on tour with your husband. You can't do another tour.
Kidding. What would we even do? That's not even happening.
Talk about me.
But we had a great trip. I can't stop thinking about, this is not a hot take at all, like how easy it is to travel these days. Like as opposed to even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like especially a place like France where Uber's everywhere. It's the Wi-Fi, cell phone usage, like all the things are so easy. And I love that. I love that now. But I feel glad that I've traveled a decent amount in my 20s, like where all these things didn't exist and you really had to like navigate and had less money and resources and like be in another country. And it wasn't easy and there was no Uber and you had to buy a cell phone plan or all those things. I don't know. I just couldn't stop thinking of how easy it is now to travel. Everybody speaks English. I look back at other trips where I was like, man, there was a lot of like friction and this was much more difficult. And I look back and I'm glad because I think that is really how you develop personal growth when you travel because everything is so easy these days.
I mean, there's good and bad for me, right? So, like, I've traveled the world really extensively, really extensively, and a lot by myself. And, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was really hard, to your point. Like, you had to download apps so that you could get maps offline, and you had to trust that taxi drivers were going to take you to the right place. Then I had to get cash out to pay those people, and it was really hard, and it took me a long time to research it. But TikTok and Instagram and those things didn't exist as much. So, like, their lines were shorter, and it was easier and more pleasant to go to places.
True.
And monuments were nicer to visit. And I didn't have to spend 20 minutes everywhere taking a solo photo of myself. And, like, there's trade-offs to everything. Like, I feel like traveling in general is just a little less pleasant because, like, there's 10 places in every city, and everyone's got to go to those 10 places.
I mean, I think we're like even saying the same thing where we're just glad we had the previous experiences.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had to fight for that. I'm glad that I lived in an era of having to print out MapQuest directions and learn Atlanta when I moved there after college. Like, I don't know. I think about that sometimes. Like, it's like kids these days will never know. Like if you go and travel to Europe now for the first time in your early 20s or whatever it is, you won't have ever known what it felt like to really have to get ahead of that shit. And like, you couldn't just land in an airport and figure it out. You'd have to figure all this out in advance. And I don't know. I remember it being really difficult and stressful, but thankful I had those experiences.
No, I agree with you. I validate it. Like, I'm proud that I did that with very little money and very little resources technology-wise, and you just make it work.
And some countries like aren't as easy. Like, we went to Greece last year and there was no Ubers about it. We did have to book drivers in advance. We had to take a ferry. Like, that is a little more difficult. Not that it's a third world country, but like, of course, that's almost why I even come back to, like, I just like France. I just like it to be easy now. I'm just not meant to live an uncomfortable life, basically, is what I'm saying. So
I am more so than you.
yeah, you're down to like do that more, but it's just like, I don't know, it's interesting. I mean, of course, every country is different, but if you want to have an easy trip, easy, safe, Ubers, Wi-Fi, all that stuff, it's just more accessible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like I do this boilerplate every year. We talk about like traveling. People ask about traveling solo. And like, I always say, go to the biggest travel destinations if you're worried about safety. Like, I think you want to remove all the friction. People are like, am I going to feel lonely? Am I going to feel safe? Like, where do I go? Go to cities that have easy Ubers, that, that getting everywhere is really simple, that everything's centralized. There's a lot of people around. You'll feel safer in these bigger cities. I've done it. I've gone to Cambodia by myself. I've gone to Vietnam by myself. You could do it. But if you're like, I've never traveled alone before, then I would go to major cities that can make it a little easier for yourself.
Paris would be a great city to go to alone. Oh my gosh. And if you were like, I want to explore other stuff, then you could go down to Nice and see the south of France. And I think Saint-Tropez didn't feel like a solo destination as much, but like Nice has that Parisian culture of just sitting on the street and people watching and like just strolling around and swimming in the sea. And I like Singapore too. It's just kind of like, it's easy and it's really safe. I do want to talk about some of our highlights.
Did you write a list?
So, I mean, just some of the stuff that we said we were going to do. I'd love to let you guys know how it went. I mean, so we went to this resort hotel where they are going to film White Lotus season 4, and it was stunning.
That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I couldn't believe how beautiful it was.
It was unbelievable. Yeah,
and they have a bunch of restaurants on the property. We actually ended up going to it was a Nobu property, and we had sushi there, and it's called Matsuhisa, which is also in the U.S., but it was just amazing. It was so beautiful, and the whole grounds were gorgeous, and I just loved it. It was really special.
And we did make it to the Whispering Angel Winery, which was just everything I could have dreamed of, how stunning it was, and no one was there. I mean, it's not so easy to get to. We went on the way from Saint-Tropez to Ez, and it's kind of up in the mountains. I mean, and they wouldn't let me book a private tasting, but they kept being like, you can just come and do a tasting. I was like, what are you guys saying? I thought there was going to be like a line out the door. We get there. We were the only people there. They let us just tour the grounds on our own. It was the most beautiful place I've ever seen. And then we went into their shop and did a tasting with like their nicer, fancier, more expensive wines. Cause I'm like, we had Whispering Angel yesterday. And it was just so perfect. And I just feel like those two things, like the White Lotus Hotel and the Whispering Angel Winery, I was like so starstruck. I'm like, this is like a religious trip for me. This is like a religious religious experience. Like, is this what Catholics feel like when they go to the Vatican? Like me at the Whispering Angel Winery is like, this is how y'all feel when you go to like your religious landmark.
This is basic American girls. Yes. I mean, it just was really beautiful. And, you know, I have a real aversion to wine tasting. I don't like it. But this was quick. They were so nice. It was personalized. We were like in and out, got some merch, and just like left. It was just like it was a really nice afternoon.
Yeah, it was great. Nice was great. This place called La Plongeoire. Like, it's like this restaurant on this cliff we went to. This really nice. We just walked in for drinks. Like, we had coffee and pastries every morning, like caught up. We went to Saint-Tropez. Again, we went to Shalona. We like did the whole dancing on the tables. Like, we did all the things. And like Ez is just like a fairy tale place. Like, that really felt like an insane place. And we stayed at La Chèvre d'Or, which means the Golden Goat. And that's this resort. And we sat overlooking the water. I mean, it just felt like an incredible trip. It ended in Paris and I loved it, but I was constipated. And I feel like I had moved past this point in my life. Like, I usually go on a big trip every year. We also just went to Singapore. It's so far away. Went to Greece last year. I have not experienced this in so long. I just have felt so healthy and like regular. I have not had this like go to Europe, can't poop in so long, and it happened.
Well, I don't know. You're not like us. I feel like everybody else gets constipated. The minute I touch down, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not pooping for 2 days. I get jet lag. I need NyQuil. And it's like, but my hack is I take these Mag-O pills that I get on Amazon. I pop 2 of them and I'm good to go. And it doesn't like make it run through my body. But like, I feel so physically uncomfortable because I want to like eat everything. But like I'm so bloated, I'm physically uncomfortable and I don't want to feel like that. So I take those Mag-O pills. They're magnesium
I
pills.
can't function. I can't function. I feel tired and sluggish and like bloated and all the things. Like feeling like bloated, like I feel fat. It's more than that. I feel like really uncomfortable and sluggish and like I can't enjoy myself. So thank God for Brittany. She had these poop pills but I was like, you feel like you're like I was like my body betrayed me. I'm usually not this bitch. But I was seeing some memes that were like there's 2 types of girls on the trip, one that can't poop and one that can't stop pooping. Because there's that person, too, that's like, I've been pooping all day.
Those people are popping magnesium.
They just, like, eat different foods. Their stomach can't handle it. Like, I think there's 2 types of people.
I mean, I say this every summer. I feel like I have eaten the house down. What I did in Rome was crazy. I was eating, like, 3 meals of pasta and pizza a day. And I am
carbonara
thinner.
life.
I'm thinner than ever. I feel great. I don't feel bloated. We say it every year with the food outside of America. I mean, I ate so much carbs. I feel great. I never felt better. I ate tons of carbonara.
I mean, there's just the portions are so small. Also, like I ate so much bread, so much pastries, so much butter. I bought butter, brought it back. They vacuum pack it. You put it in your suitcase. Like I've just had like butter just now, like on some bread as a snack. It's just this less food. Like they serve you a dish, you're like, that's it? Okay. I mean, that's all I need.
I had 3 carbonaras in 2 days. So I guess
this is like new information to me. This is your favorite thing, this carbonara. Like this is your favorite pasta. Like you're eating 3 a day. You're doing 3 a days.
What I've done most years is I do my like big group trip with everybody and then I go to London to see my family, and in between I need a little palate cleanser. I need to be by myself for a couple days. I really need to just like be quiet. I've gone to Rome a couple times, and that's another city I would absolutely recommend traveling solo. You will feel so safe. There's so much to do. It is just the best place. And I really just play the hits. I'm not really looking for like new hot places. I go to the same places every single time that I'm there. And there's just 3 places that I love, and they're famous carbonara places, and that's what I eat there. And that's what I like. Maybe I'll post a thing on my Instagram story for you guys if you're curious where I go. But like, I go to the most famous restaurants in Rome. Like if you look up the most like eaten at restaurants, like I'm not doing under the radar shit. And I don't need to. I don't care. That's not the trip I need. I get my tattoo from my guy. I eat a bunch of food, and that's it. It was a great 2 days. I loved it. It was wonderful.
That's what you do. Yeah.
This is a shorter trip for me. After all my carbonaras, I came to London. I've been here for 3 days, and I'm going home tomorrow, which I'm excited about. I'm excited to go home. I really just want to set up my place and head back home, and then I'll also see you next week. I mean, I'm with you all the time. I told you.
Yeah.
Told you we were always going to be together.
That was our trip, you guys. And we had a group of 4, which I think is like a perfect number.
I have to tell you.
Probably my fave.
I have to tell you, I want to talk about group size. So we're going to talk about like girls trips and like group sizes and budgets and like not wanting to do stuff or feeling like you travel differently than other people are going to get it all. But I have to just tell you this funny thing that happened to me. So I wanted to fly to London from Rome around like 3 p.m. So I looked up flights and there was a bunch of flights at like noon and 5:30 and there was this Ryanair flight at 3:30 and it's not my favorite airline to fly, but like whatever. I was like, I'll fly Ryanair to London. Who cares? So I booked it and I was like going to the airport, at which point I realized that there are 2 airports in Rome. And my brother was like, he booked a Ryanair flight. There's a separate airport for Ryanair in Rome.
Oh, really?
It's called like Wizz Air and Ryanair, and there's a separate airport for these 2. So I realized this has happened to you and I one other time in London that we didn't realize there was like more than one airport. So I'm like, fuck, there's more than one airport. So I get to the right airport and it took we were delayed for an hour and I'm sitting in the terminal and I'm looking at the gate and it says London and it says London-STD. And I'm like, that's silly. What's STD? And I realized I booked a flight 90 minutes outside of London. This is some random airport called like Stansted. And
it's not like one of the 3 because there are
Gatwick,
3 in London.
It's not Gatwick or London City Airport or
London City
Heathrow.
Airport.
It is another airport. I'm sitting in the terminal. It washes over me. I have booked a flight to the wrong airport. This has never happened to me in my life.
There's a 4th London. Like, why does it even say London?
But it's 45 miles outside of London. It's like not in London.
That's what I'm saying. Why does it even say it though? It said London.
That's what I said to my fucking brother. I was like, why am I at this airport? So I'm like, fine, I'll just fucking deal with it. It said it was going to be like a 90-minute drive from the airport to his place, which I was like, I mean, sometimes JFK is that to get into the city. So I'll just deal with it. So we get on the flight and I'm sitting on the runway and they come over the loudspeaker. We're maybe on the runway for like, I don't know, the flight was about an hour delayed. And they go, we missed our flight time and the FAA or whatever regulates it won't let us take off. So we're looking for another flight time. I don't know, my brother explained this to me. He said the cheaper airlines don't get priority with like sky people. And so like
I think that makes sense. And that's why Air France, I always got right into the airport, like in the shuttles and stuff. Like I just feel like you know which ones have the connections and which ones have the more budget. But anyway.
So they've paid for priority. So they're like, we missed our flight time. We can't take off. And I was like, okay. And they're like, so there's this air show going on and we can't take off because there's an air show now in Rome and across Italy. There's all these like acrobatics happening in the skies. And I was like, okay, I guess this makes sense. We should just sit on the tarmac. 10 minutes later, they go, never mind, we'll fly around it. Fly around an air show. You know those planes fly up into the sky. They do like loop-de-loops and they're like in formation. There's like 18 of them. They're like, we'll just fly around it.
And also, what happened in this last 10 minutes? Like, what call did you guys make? Like, you guys were like, fuck it. I don't love the fuck it energy with my life in your hands.
Real fucking energy. Also, no Wi-Fi, no air conditioning on this plane, obviously. But I mean, we all knew that would happen. So anyways, that was my airport story. I just thought it was really funny. We took off, we were fine. But I've never heard somebody be like, there's an air show, we can't take off. Never mind, just jokes. We're going to take off.
Oh my God.
So that was my airport story.
There was a couple on my flight home doing something that was so egregious that I really did have to let a flight attendant know. And they were fully FaceTiming at full volume at 30,000 feet. They were FaceTiming. Like we had the Starlink, which is the strongest Wi-Fi, unfortunately. And they were able to FaceTime in the air and they full
From
volume.
the plane.
On the plane. You know how I feel about even a device like your sound on, but also a FaceTime.
No, it's crazy.
At length. 10 plus minutes FaceTiming.
I don't even like when people do it when we're on the ground. I don't want to be next to you on a FaceTime call.
That's my biggest pet peeve. It used to be my Hinge prompt. People who FaceTime in public or have speakerphone in public. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, you would have hated this so much, Ashley. I was at dinner. Okay, I was in Rome. You would have died. This place, Roscioli, it's like really famous Italian restaurant. They're also in Soho now. So I went there for dinner. I booked like a solo seat at the counter, and it was actually really cute. It was me and 3 other girls were the only people at the counter. I heard each girl talking to like the bartenders and the waiters. 2 of them were from New York. We were all kind of the same age. It was really sweet. Everybody was just it was on a Saturday night. All these girls were by themselves. This girl, I look next to me. She looks exactly like Louisa. She's more Ashley's friend, but she's my friend too. She's one of your longtime best friends. She's so beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, it's Louisa. Then I hear her ask for gluten-free bread. Louisa's gluten-free. I'm like, this is crazy. This is her sitting next to me. Then this girl takes out her phone. She props it up on her water bottle. And she proceeds to have a FaceTime call for 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And I keep looking at her. And I'm like, what are you doing? And okay, so my self-talk, I wanted to ask you about. What I wanted to ask you about, because I was like, if this girl wasn't solo, she would be next to me having a conversation with somebody. The headphones were on. She had her headphones on. I couldn't hear the feedback from the phone. But like, I was like,
oh, now it's changed. She didn't tell me she had headphones on.
I was curious what you think about this. She had headphones on. So
I don't care. Do your thing. Okay. All you're doing is hearing her talk. I can't hear the sound from your fucking phone. Get the fuck out. You are the worst person to think you can have your phone on full sound, doing whatever, scrolling TikTok, being on a FaceTime, whatever it is. You're the absolute worst. Headphones in, I don't care. She's on a dinner date.
I really was wondering what you would think about it, because like it.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you asked.
It was annoying, but like I just had to say to myself, like, if this girl was with somebody, I'd be listening to her talk.
No, I'm not bothered at all. And you know what? I thought you were going to ask me, if she was sitting next to you, if you should have said something. And if you are going to say something, the thing to say is, I'm sorry, do you have headphones? Sorry, I can hear everything, like, and that usually alerts people of what they're doing is rude. But no, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it, because it's not disturbing your peace of in a public place any more than if someone was there. Yeah. So good for her.
Yeah. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it was going to. And I've traveled alone a lot, and I will have like a phone call as a dinner date. And I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Well, yeah. So this one night out, Shashank and I went to the Venice Steakhouse here. This was like back over the holidays, and like some girl came in, set up her fucking phone in the bar just like that, and had a FaceTime full volume. I wanted to like scream. That's fucking crazy. You're the worst. You're like, everyone hates you. Leave. Okay, well, I think that's a good recap on our trip. We highly recommend France and Air France. I had great experiences flying with Air France. And make sure you're going to the right London airport, because this has fucked us up before too.
And the right Rome airports.
So we are just going to take a quick break, and then we will get back into it.
Okay, well, talking about budgeting and taking trips, this is the perfect time to recommend Rocket Money as a tool. So Rocket Money is a personal finance app. It'll help you track your subscriptions, track your spending, figure out how you can budget. It can help you automate your bills. It really is like a one-stop shop if you're like, I'm not sure what I can afford in terms of travel and also clothing for travel and all these things. So Rocket Money, they'll track your subscriptions. Like I said, they'll cancel unwanted ones for you. They have saved users over $880 million in canceled subscriptions. So we all sign up for a lot of stuff and just forget about it. You sign up for that 30-day free trial, you completely forget. So when you go into their interface, which is so easy to use, they'll identify all those subscriptions. They'll help you cancel them. They'll help you budget. They have transaction categories across all accounts, plus customizable categories. And you can just look at your spending patterns. They're going to help you set budgets and goals if you need to. And they save over $70 on average within the first 30 days, which is great. That's just money you can put straight into a trip, and they can consolidate checking, savings, loans, and investments. I mean, it's just like a one-stop shop if you want to really figure out your finances. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/GGE. That's rocketmoney.com/GGE. rocketmoney.com/GGE.
Okay, and I am telling you guys about Whatnot. I mean, how would you feel if you scored an incredible deal on some designer outfit? We're talking Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Coach, Tory Burch, or even something like an Off-White or a Supreme at a deal, and got to wear it on your vacation. Wear it to San Tropez, wear it whatever you're going on your staycation. So this is what you can find on Whatnot. Designer bags as well for literally half of what they're going for anywhere else. So this is really so incredible. It is the #1 live shopping app in the US where shopping happens in real time with real people, real conversations, and incredible deals. So here is how it works. On Whatnot, you connect with sellers and other shoppers. It's like hanging out with a group that gets you. It's a really fun way to shop. I love this. It just makes the whole experience like really fun and exciting. exciting, and you're almost never going to pay full price. So you're going to shop name brands across makeup, perfume, clothes, handbags, jewelry, and more, all without the retail sticker shock. The best place to find great deals on products you love. And there are amazing sellers going live 24/7. So you can comment in real time. Like, you see something you want, you can like talk to them in real time. They'll show you a close-up of the clothes. They'll explain the sizing. This is incredible. Like, you know, even like some department stores these days will do like a video where they kind of show you up close, and you just want to see a video sometimes of like, what does this look like in real life? Like, what's the sizing like? You can ask questions, and then you can become a seller as well if you have clothes, bags, accessories sitting in your closet. So Raina obviously loves this. You know, she has a secret life where she sells all of her stuff. So it's a great way to find new brands too. These sellers don't gatekeep. So it is incredible. I mean, we have both checked it out. Like, I was on this app recently and I was chatting back and forth about these designer sunglasses I was really interested in, these Prada sunglasses. I just love it. I mean, like, again, Prada, Chanel, Gucci, you guys check it out for prices that you really couldn't find anywhere else. So you can download Whatnot today and get $20 off and free shipping on your first purchase. Search Whatnot, WHATNOT in the App Store. Sign up and start finding the best deals on the products you love with $20 off and free shipping on your first purchase.
Okay, so summertime, obviously we're all going out more, we're partying more, going to barbecues, we're vacationing more, and this is your sign to drink ZBiotics pre-alcohol before going out. So ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking, and here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It is a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night. Drink responsibly and you'll feel your best tomorrow. So obviously, you know, we were running around on vacation. I want to feel my best every single day, but I want to have a drink and indulge at night. So this is a really easy thing to also just throw in your bag or in your suitcase because the bottles are small and it's really nice to travel with. So I love it. And July is packed with barbecues, fireworks, lake weekends, and late nights with your friends. Keep the good times rolling into the next day. Drink pre-alcohol before you go out and wake up ready for whatever Sunday brings. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/GGE and use the code GGE at checkout for 15% off.
Okay, so we asked you guys what questions you had about girls' trips. And we had questions we wanted to also answer about traveling with a partner, but then we just kind of got excited talking about the girls trip stuff. And so we were talking about our girls trip and it just kind of makes sense. So, you know, if couple partner stuff comes up, well, you know, but I think we're going to focus on traveling with the girlies.
Tell your partner that they're going to do what you want to do. That's the end of the story. And you will both have a great time. Happy wife, happy life. And, you know, your partner should go where you want and eat where you want and be on your travel plan and your budget plan. And that is, I mean, honestly, take it from somebody not in a relationship. That's the key to a healthy relationship. We solved it. Do what I want.
Plan trips better. So, you know, yes. If he wants to plan a trip and pay for it and you check the itinerary and you approve of it, you can go on that trip. But otherwise, just stay in charge, ladies.
We solved it. Be in charge. And, you know, just have sex. Maybe do a little anal, you know, to say thanks. And I'm just kidding. I would never do anal. Yeah. I'm just kidding. You guys, I'm kidding. They should thank you for showing up, and that's it.
Your presence is the gift. Okay, so I mean, a lot of questions about budget, different budgets, budgeting, planning, different travel styles, things like that. And I just wanted to preface this by saying that, like, I did not take fancy vacations in my 20s at all and in my early 30s. Like, I had no money. It was bachelorettes that I was overdrafting my account to even go on in the first place, and people's weddings. And then going to Dewey Beach. And then if I traveled, it was visiting people and staying with them. Like, I couldn't stomach a hotel room over $250 a night till, I don't know, 5 years ago. Like,
$250? That was so much money for me.
It's so much money. And I don't think you can barely get a nice hotel for that these days, you know? So it's just like, I wasn't booking nice hotels and houses and trips to Europe. Like, I remember going to Europe once in my, maybe I was 30, maybe I was 29 or 30, and like staying with my friend the whole time, you know? And so we also didn't have social media the way it is now. We didn't have all these 20-something influencers traveling the world and jet setting and becoming so rich, like, in our face. And we just had less of that social media comparison. And I don't know, I think it's hard these days. And like, if I was on a beach in Florida staying with my friend, flew there in seat 35F. I was like, I'm fucking killing it. And these days you like see these trips, and even some people in my comments when I posted about this trip are like, I'd love to take a trip like this, or I can't afford it. Or it's just like, yeah, but I just reminder that I'm 43 now, I guess technically, as you listen to this. And it like took a long time to get here. And I just wanted to call that out, because I know we have young listeners who are like, how do I go on a trip like this? Or I have a different budget than my friends. And it's just like, man, I wasn't taking fancy, expensive trips till like later in my 30s. I mean, I feel like you probably feel the same. You did a lot more travel, but it was on the cheap.
I mean, everything. I'm liking later in life going back to these places and having a different experience. But so much of, we always joke like, what's your rich life and what do you value? And like, even though I have money, I don't want to do certain things that other people want to do. I don't want to spend the way that other people want to spend. There's things that I value that, like, I stayed in like a really not great hotel in Rome because I wanted to go to Rome solo for a couple days on this trip. And the location was more important to me. And I had spent a lot in France. And I was like, I'm going to skimp on this. I'm alone. I'll skimp on this hotel. Like, everybody's rich life is different, And when I was in my early 30s, and I traveled all over Europe and Asia, I stayed in hostels. I flew the cheapest airlines possible. I was just happy to be there. Like, my rich life was just, I was so grateful to just be able to like touch down in those places and have those experiences. And I think budget comes up a lot because these conversations are really uncomfortable with your friends, and it's hard to say like, I can't afford what you can afford, and I don't want to afford what you are acting like you can afford. I don't value these things. I don't want to go to these places. Like, a trip in Saint-Tropez is not going to cost what a trip in Florida costs. Sometimes it's just like, I can't afford to go to this place. And those are super uncomfortable conversations to have with people. And I think people lose friends over it. I think it's really, it's tough to say those things.
Yeah, I just want to validate, if you are younger and you just see these people you follow, first of all, don't follow them if they make you feel bad. But it's just like, we didn't have to see that shit. Like, I didn't see 20-year-olds in Saint-Tropez, maybe like the top level of celebrity. But it's just, I think people feel bad. They see these things and they want to do them. And, you will get there, and maybe you'll get there when you're 60 and you'll enjoy it with who, I don't know. I wanted to like kind of say that caveat, but the budget stuff is really hard. And there is so many different scenarios, and Rain and I can't give black and white solutions to every problem because they all require nuance. Like, if you came to me with a specific scenario, I could give you advice, but they're all so different. And I think like above all with your friends, you just lead with love and compassion and put your friendship first. And if you're dealing with friends who you love and support and they love and support you back, just think that they have the best intentions and so do you, and start there. I think that these decisions can be hard, and especially there's a lot of shame around money and what people can and can't afford. But keep that in mind. And no one wants to not be able to afford a trip, and no one wants to say that. And so these discussions are tough. And I mean, I guess there's exceptions to the rule where you have some just like cheap, broke, lazy friend who just wants to come along and take advantage of everybody. But that's usually not the case. And I think that you can always decide to take a trip or plan a trip. Like, if I'm thinking about myself, I'm thinking of a past trip I planned mostly where I like presented the budget to someone. I kind of did some math to feel like this is probably what it's going to cost. I did that with my 40th birthday, where I just was like, I want to be transparent about what this is probably going to cost. It takes a little legwork to figure that out if you're the one planning it. But presenting it to people, and I've done this numerous times, like, this is roughly what it's going to cost. I want to be upfront about it. And maybe people might be like, I can't make it this year. Maybe you could do a less expensive weekend trip with that friend. Like, there's so many different types of scenarios. Or if you have a scenario where you all make money and one friend doesn't, and that's your best friend, like, do you guys that make the money have enough to be like, we'll cover the hotel or the house? Like, can you work it out that way? Like, there's so many different ways. Like, you don't want to have someone feel like you pity them, but your friend dynamics better than we do. There's certain times where I always pay more. Like, every year in Dewey, I like book something and I pay more. I might ask, but like, can you throw me a couple $100? Or, like my birthday trip, like different trips. If I'm hosting them or planning them, sometimes I do end up paying more, and I'm like happy to do it, and I don't ever feel like I'm taken advantage of. Like, your friend group better than we do, but these things can they can work out like that as you get older, when you kind of know who makes more money and who doesn't. I don't know. We have a friend that makes more money than us, and sometimes she pays for something on the trip that maybe everybody can't afford and she's happy to do it. I don't know. So
I think that the more you can have these conversations ahead of time, just the better. You know, can you discuss an alternate travel destination? Like, it doesn't have to be, obviously, like, it should be in the U.S. If, you know, you're like local to the U.S., you should have those conversations ahead of time. I think people drink a lot less than they used to. So if you're the sober friend on the trip, I think it's totally fair to say, like, I don't really want to have to split the bill every single time. Like, can we work something out? Is there some compromise? Like, if you're the sober friend and everybody drinks, why should you be on the hook for everybody to drink? Or if you have a little less money, I think it's also fine to say, like, I'm going to sit out of one or two activities. I just, you know, that's not how I want to spend my money. And I've never looked down on anybody. I've actually, on the opposite, I think it's like really brave to say to somebody, like, this is just not how I can spend my money right now. And so, like, if you guys do this thing, I'm going to hang back. You know, I think it's like not everybody has to be on the hook for every single activity if it's that kind of trip. And people understand if you're just like, I'm going to make this work as best I can. I want to be with my friends. Maybe I can split a hotel room with somebody else. Like maybe there's another girl on the trip that wants to split with me and we can spend a little less together. Like any way that you can make it work for yourself, like people will understand. And I think it's brave to say those things.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't have any money to take a trip at all, no matter where it is, whether it's domestic or international. And I've been there too, and that's just what it is. And then you hang back with your fellow broke friend and you guys run around and get drunk in your own city. You know, it's just like you can't afford to take the trip sometimes. And that's just like how it is. I think that flights are a part of the cost. A lot of times they're a huge part of the cost. Like someone might be like, I'm going on the trip and my friends are flying first and I can't afford it and I'm going to be sitting in economy. I don't think people get butthurt about that. They might. I don't know. I'm never discussing with my friends what cabin we're booking or what we're doing, you know, like, so I think that's where a lot of the cost comes in of a trip. And people asked about sharing bedrooms and it's interesting because like we did both on this trip and it went back and forth in the different places. And like I shared a bed with Megan one night, like a king bed. Like you shared
I shared a bed 7 nights. Every single night I shared a bed.
Well, you like Brittany kind of came on last minute and that was like how it worked out. That was like
But like that's the other thing. Like just because just because you could afford something doesn't mean you have to. Like, I mean, we all split the costs evenly. But I think that, like, it's fine to be like, I'd rather sleep with somebody. I mean, it just didn't bother me. Like, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Like, it would have cost a lot more money to get an Airbnb with 4 separate bedrooms. And, like, it's not worth the cost to me of splitting that. And I'm happy to just share a bed with somebody. And I've shared a bed with her, like, so much, just all over. And it doesn't bother me. And we sleep fine together. And so, like, people are like, is it weird to split rooms after the age of like XYZ? No, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I mean, do whatever you want. I mean, I would never, ever share a hotel room for touring, ever. Rain and I did this year 1, and I will never do it. I don't do it. I don't do it on my own tour. You have sometimes shared rooms with your openers. I don't do that. I'm working. I need my sleep.
My female openers.
Yeah, of course. But like... I want my own room and my own space, and I would never. But like, even last year in Greece, Jackie and I shared both houses in Greece. We had a room with 2 twin beds. That's how we slept on our fancy vacation. Like this, I don't mind it. I like love being with the girls. You know, like part of it, that's the fun of it, is like sharing a room, getting ready together. Like, and that's coming from someone that really always wants my own hotel room, mostly, you know, but the girls' trips, it's like, why not?
And like, I think that more important than anything on any trip is just travel compatibility. And you're just going to have some friends that like want to do fancier stuff than you or less fancy stuff than you. And like, maybe those just aren't the friends you travel with. Like, if you're just like, man, I really want to do this with these girls, but they have really fancy taste. They want to do this stuff. Like, maybe that's just not the trip that you go on. And maybe you mute them for a couple days while they're away. And I know that it hurts. Like, the answer like it, that's a shitty answer. Like, maybe you just can't go. But like, it's important to me to feel compatible with the people that I'm with. And if everybody that I was with was like, I want the best of the best all the time and I'll spend whatever, like that's also probably not who I'm going to travel with. Like I need to make concessions and compromises here. And maybe that's just not the best people for you to travel with. If you're like, I can't afford this and they want all these really expensive things and they're not going to understand if I can't contribute to like the boat, the day club, the beach, you know, like then that's not the people you should travel with. That's okay. I have a question for you though about staying. So this came up and I saw like another girl talk about this and the clip went like so crazy. So you live with somebody day to day, obviously you sleep in a bed with somebody. I live alone. So, like, it's understandable that you actually would want a little more space on a trip because, like, when you're not with your husband, it's something that you want to, like, sleep in your own bed. I am alone all the time. So, I actually don't mind, like, sharing a bed. I shared a bed with Brittany for all 7 nights.
Yeah.
What about somebody that's just like, I need my own space? Like, let me give you a scenario. 6 girls go to an Airbnb. One girl's just like, that's just not my style. I want more space. I don't want to wake up with everybody and be assaulted by 5 girls. How do you feel about somebody that's just like, I'm going to stay at a hotel nearby?
Yeah, it's, I am not insulted, but like we're not really the same type of girl. And I don't think I've like really run into that. Like, I like to travel with friends who share the same preferences, who want to do a bunch of stuff, who want to experience the place, who are down for whatever, who are energetic, who want to get up early-ish, not sleep all day, and who want to all be together. Like, if it's super long trip, I understand. You and I've gone on like long trips and it's like we have alone time. We've jetted off to different places. We come back together. But like we're going on a girls trip for like a week or less. Like the point to me is to do stuff together. And like I understand you want to go out and get coffee in the morning. You want to be alone a little bit like that. But like a girl that's like, I'm going to come, but I'm going to do my own thing. Like I'm going to stay somewhere else. I'm going to do my own thing is not the person I need to travel with. I'm not saying I can't be her friend and I'm not judging it.
That's not your travel
That's not my
companion.
travel friend.
That's
like
it.
it's really not an attack on them. It's just like I want to be on the same page and I want to all be together and experience these things together. But I'm an extrovert and I don't need alone time on a trip to recharge. I'm going to recharge when I get home. So that's just me personally. But I've seen that discourse before. And it just depends, by the way, like on the group. If I was invited on a bachelorette and I didn't really know all those girls, and let's say they're just like so much younger even or something, or so much, like they're just not my friends. They're my friends' friends. Like I just want to be there to support. Maybe I might be like, I'm going to get my own hotel room and I'll be around for this stuff. Like, I guess that's the only scenario. But when you're all actually friends and you want to take a trip together, I'd be like, why is she trying to stay somewhere else? Like the point is to all wake up together and do the stuff.
I mean, this came up a couple of times, so I was trying to think, like, what is a scenario in which, like, you would be on a girls' trip with your friends and you would be like, no, thank you, I'm going to stay somewhere else. And that's the only scenario in which I understand doing it. If you're just like, I'm a different age than these girls, I don't know these girls, like, I'm coming because I want to, like, support my friend, maybe, but, like, otherwise, I kind of don't know why you're on the trip if you don't want to be with everybody, and I like a lot of alone time. I really do. But what I do for myself in these scenarios is like I get up 30, 45 minutes earlier than everybody and I take a walk by myself. I like to start my day just like with a little bit of quiet. I don't want to immediately get up and it's like, good morning, good morning, good morning. Like I really enjoy a little bit of quiet time by myself in the morning. No one's mad at me. No one's like, because alone time, we will talk about alone time, but like alone time came up a lot. Like what if you need a little bit of alone time? Like I will take my alone time in the morning and I'll go take a little walk. And when I get back, I'm ready for like the shit talk and the silliness and being together, getting coffees together. But other than that, I'm on a trip to be with the people I'm on a trip with. So I'm not going to stay somewhere else.
Yeah. And I realize I'm on the far end of the spectrum of like, I never want to be apart from the group. I'm like, why are you guys talking without me? Like buzz, here I am. What are we talking about? I do want to wake up all together and do the stuff together. Like that's for the point of the trip for me. But to your point, I did not want to share a bed every night of this trip. And I did plan it that way. And I knew I would, or a room, sorry. I knew I was sharing a room in Nice. I knew I was going to have my own room in Saint-Tropez. I knew we were going to share a room in Ez, and then I knew I'd have the final night in Paris. Like, it's not my dream to share a room the whole trip, but also, like, I did that last summer in Greece, and it was fine, too, because I tagged on that trip late. And I was like, yeah, I'm sharing a dorm room with Jackie. And, like, that bonded us, and we had a fun time. So I think, like, the budgeting stuff, just to kind of like close the loop, I think probably the hardest scenario would be like a group of, 4 girls, 5 girls, 6 girls. And they're like, let's take a trip. There are drinks. Let's take a trip. Where should we go? And they like start to talk about it. And like 1 or 2 girls realizes they're not on the same page about the cost of the trip and what they can afford. And I don't really know how to handle that. It's like, can you take a cheaper trip? Can we go to Puerto Rico instead of Italy this year? Or how can we make it work and just lead with love and be communicative and don't be an asshole? and also if you're the friend that, you can't afford it, like that's a bummer too. I think these situations are tough. And so I just want to validate that.
I just I know that it's probably so painful to say no to a trip with your friends and to know they're having fun without you, but these places will be there. They'll be there for a long time, and you'll grow up and you'll make more money, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just decide this is not how I value spending money. I'm not doing this. I have a friend who she's not traveling this year at all. She was like, I bought my first place and that's where my money is going. And I don't care about traveling. You guys could go on trips, have fun. This is where my money went. And maybe that's just not how you want to spend your money. And I know everybody is just, to your point, spending so much time and energy is posting all these things that they're doing. There's so much FOMO, the haves and the have-nots, and I want to do what they're doing. But I don't know. You'll go on the next trip. You'll have another great experience with these people. It's okay to sit some things out. It's fine. It sucks, but it's okay.
Yeah. And I just, again, if it's if everybody has to go to Italy and you can't afford it, will they also go to another long weekend trip with you somewhere affordable, down the coast? I don't know where you live, the beach town close by or somewhere.
I don't know where you live.
Some city. If you go to Chicago, I don't know why. Go to the Cape. I don't know. Will they do that? Because if it's really just about the bonding and the friendship, it's just shouldn't matter where you are. You'll have a good time no matter what, just sitting around and talking your shit. Let's just take a quick break and then we will continue the discussion. I am telling you guys about Ride or Die. This is a new series on Prime Video. We are just so excited about it. So this is going to be in 2 days. This is coming out on July 15th on Prime. It is a high octane and action comedy starring Octavia Spencer and Hannah Waddingham. So these are two best friends of 20 years, Judith and Debbie, whose lives are upended when one turns out to be a secret international assassin. We talked about this last week. If this would be Raina and I, how this would pan out.
I would do the murder.
Yeah, how we do the murder and who cleans up, who comes up with the alibis and everything. So they find themselves on the run with a mysterious villain chasing them and Debbie's husband involved in something deeply corrupt. And so it's just really hilarious. It's adventurous. It's sexy. It's clever. It's action, espionage, plus the friendship element. We just love any sort of friendship story. And it proves that it's never too late for a new lease on life, and just loving that their friendship is the core element in the show. And we've seen the trailer and it's really fun and we think you guys are really going to like it. So you can watch Ride or Die. Again, new series, July 15th, only on Prime Video.
So when I was packing for this trip, one of the first things I threw into my bag were my sets from FP Movement. And FP Movement is a brand from Free People. Ashley and I love Free People and we love FP Movement. So it's their activewear brand. They have so many different options just for great sets to look put together. There are so many colors. The fabric is fantastic. They have all these sweat wicking fabrics. They have breathable materials, stay put compression for all these shorts and sports bras. And I think it's just a great way to look really cute at the airport or when you're running errands or in the morning for a coffee run. And there's just so many things I like. I love the Coastline hiking shorts. They're really durable. Obviously, I don't work out, you guys, but I just like these for a quick walk. The Never Better cinched shorts and Never Better bike shorts. And they just have tons of sizes and colors for everything. There's a lot of variety and I love the fabrics, and you can always look really put together with everything that they do. And you guys can visit fpmovement.com/GGE to shop their full line of activewear and workout gear. What you just said to me is so funny because I just got room service and you just go, whoa, it's just salad. It's not I used to order 2 entrees for room service all the time, and you're like, whoa.
No, sorry. Well, we just had to take a break, and we had technical difficulties. We both are back with wired headphones, and Raina got room service. No, it was just funny, to see this guy come into your room, and he set the thing on the bed. This cute Indian guy.
You got horny because he's a tall Indian guy. Well, it's 10:30 at night for me. I was like, I haven't eaten since lunch. I'm so hungry. We had lunch at 1:00 today.
Oh my God. Did we finish the ads? What are we doing?
No, we did not.
Okay. I am telling you guys about No CD. Everyone has doubts or anxieties about their relationship from time to time, but for some people, these doubts and anxieties feel all-consuming and impossible to move on from. So that's where relationship OCD symptoms come in, which can look like creating a mental list of your partner's pros and cons while panicking about whether you made the wrong choice, constantly researching signs you're with the right person online, having a random dream about spending your life with another person and then feel guilty and terrified about what that might mean, asking your partner over and over again if they're really happy with you, even though they already said yes many times. So these sort of thoughts and anxieties might seem like overthinking or commitment issues, but they can actually be signs of relationship OCD, which is a serious condition where distressing, unwanted thoughts get stuck on repeat and you feel driven to do certain mental or physical behaviors called compulsions to try to make that anxiety stop. But it is one of the most treatable mental health conditions with the right type of specialized therapy, which is ERP therapy, exposure and response prevention, which is proven to be the most effective treatment. Regular talk therapy isn't recommended and can actually make OCD worse. That is why we are telling you guys about NoCD. NoCD is the world's leading OCD treatment provider, and all their licensed therapists specialize in ERP. The therapy is 100% virtual, covered by insurance for over 138 million Americans, and includes support between sessions, so you never have to face OCD alone. If any of this sounds like you or someone you care about, visit nocd.com and book a free 15-minute call with their team to learn more about how NoCD can help. That's nocd.com.
So we got just like, we're going to blow through a bunch of these. We got like some really fun stuff from you guys about like travel compatibility and dealing with people on trips. And I know that it can be like really hard to be with a group of girls and everybody has different preferences and different things that fucking annoy you about each one. And traveling with people can be hard. You know, I've done it a lot. You and I've taken trips together every single summer. Like, I don't always want to do what other people want to do. And it is just about like compromise and balance. And like, people are going to annoy you and then you take a little space afterwards. Like, it's a lot of group dynamics when you're with all these girls, and you're gonna have girls that like they want to spend their entire time like making social media reels, and other people that hate that, people that want to take 1,000 photos, people that take hours to get ready. Like, it's a lot of dynamics to deal with.
Raina, you sound like it make it sound so bad. I feel like
I'm reading our list. I'm not talking about our trip. I'm
think,
just validating there's a lot to deal with on these trips.
I love a girls' trip. I feel like there is definitely like exceptions to every rule and people. But for the most part, I don't know. I just feel like that was like a rant about the perils of traveling with your friends.
I think it could be tough being with a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
And I think I'm amazing at compromising with people.
That's all I ever want to do is be with a bunch of girls, for the record. Like, that is my dream. But I know it's not for everybody. And some people might like this, like, gives them anxiety, the thought of a girls trip where like I'm like amped up. Like, I'm like, this is my dream. And it's just kind of like, I love all being together. It reminds me of being in college and like having roommates and stuff like that. And it's not everybody's dream. And
yeah,
like, especially if you have a bunch of different personalities.
I think you and I are a good example of people that don't necessarily want to do the same stuff all the time, and we compromise really well with each other. And I think that, like, I hate the word plan. I hate it. Oh, I hate being, like, tethered to a plan, and you like a lot of plans. But, like, I always say this. I know when I get there, I will be happy that somebody has made dinner reservations, because you and I have taken trips, and we've tried to, like, wing it, and I hate it at the end of the day when it's like, where are we going to go eat? And it's like, no, we're good. Everything's booked. There are certain ways I would travel by myself. And if I want to have no plans all day long, I'll travel by myself. Like, I think there's just like, you find compromises with people and you look for the best in it and make the best out of it. And like, again, I don't love all these plans and reservations. However, I'm happy when I get there and I have plans and reservations.
I mean, it depends on where you go, too. Like, there are some places you can go and just kind of wander around and figure it out. I mean, I think you can have a really nice trip in Paris just wandering around, you know? But if you want to go to the Louvre and you want to do these things, you've got to plan ahead. Like, I want to go to a place and do all the best things. And so that does require planning ahead. Like, I just am not like a person who's like, let's just get there and it like sends a chill down my spine to be like, we'll just get there and we'll figure it out. Like, oh, okay. You're going to walk away from that place and realize like, you like missed out. Maybe not. I mean, maybe some people just get lucky, but I just think there can be like a healthy mix, but that's something too. Like, a trip like that is not for everybody. People don't want to see an itinerary. They want to go and just like wander around and figure it out for themselves. And that's their prerogative. So you got to figure out what kind of trip it is before you commit. And, you know, planning, a lot of people ask about planning. It's like, I don't know. I remember like one trip I went on, it was a bachelorette trip, and like we did this fun thing that actually really worked out. It was like however many days, 3 days, 3 nights, 6 things, you know, daytime activity, nighttime activity. And like everyone was just in charge of planning a thing. And it was fun. Like, it was in LA. This was way before I ever lived here. And I found this boat for the day. It wasn't expensive. I think they still have it. It's like the Blue Moon. They still do this. And like one of the dinners was like kind of a bust, but it was funny. We joked about it for years, like the place that one of the girls chose. And like, it was just kind of fun to not know what was coming. We're all like a really fun group down to do whatever. And that was like a funny way to plan it. And I think like these days it's more like someone usually takes the reins. And like it's collaborative, but like last year we joined on that trip late and I didn't plan a thing and I just showed up and I took a shitty room and did everything and was like so excited to do it. I love that. Or I've joked before, I have two modes. I plan the whole trip or I show up and have planned nothing. Like really, it's like one or the other.
A good balance for me is like I like one plan per day, like one activity, and I like a dinner reservation. And like, that's a good balance for me. I want to know that at the end of the day, like we're going to put on cute outfits and like people have researched like where to eat for dinner and there's like a dinner res. And I like to know like there's in every city, there's like a top 4 or 5 things that you can do. And I want to know like, am I going to hit those? Are those things going to be open that day? Like museums are closed on random days all the time in different cities or beach clubs. And like, I want to know like, there's the top couple things to do and we are going to go do this thing. One day we did a wine tasting. One day we did a boat trip. One day we went to like a beach club, a day club. Like I just want like one plan per day. And also if you're the kind of person that's like, I like to set stuff out, like then maybe a small group trip isn't for you, you know? Like maybe you want to go on a group trip with 10 people. If you're the kind of person that's like, I'm not going to want to go to everything. Like 4 people, like I sat out one thing. I sat at the beach day for a couple hours on this trip and like, but it does change the dynamic of the trip if like 2 of 4 people don't go to something.
I wouldn't want to travel with those types of people. That's no offense to you, but if that was you're always like that, if you were always like, Raina's going to go on the trip with 3 or 4 girls and she's not going to do half the stuff, I'd be like, she's not my ideal travel friend.
Yeah,
and
you gotta find people
you can still be close friends, but you can be like, we don't really travel the same, and that's okay. You know, people ask some like funny questions. Someone said, does the person who books the Airbnb get the first choice of bed? And I think yes. Like I think it's like obviously yes. But if someone's always booking it for that reason, is that annoying?
Well, how much of the trip did they plan though? Did everybody else plan dinner reservations and plans and that person just booked? Like this trip was a little different. Again, can't trust us enough. I didn't even know what we were doing. I just showed up. So yeah, I wasn't like, I get the best pick of rooms. Like if somebody plans the whole trip, then yes, that person should get the first pick of a room. Absolutely. That's crazy to think that you didn't do any work and you should show up and you should get a good room.
But I think the person who found the house gets to pick the room, even if they didn't plan anything else. Like you found the house. That's the main part of a trip is where you stay. So it's like if you found that Airbnb, you booked it, you locked it in, I think you pick the room first.
I think what if you divide and conquer though? Like what if it's 3 girls and one person does restaurant reservations, one does plans, and one finds the house?
Okay. Like I don't know. Other people put in more work, you're saying, and you
equal
all
work.
You did was book the house. Okay, equal work or more.
Then I think it's a fight to the death. And I think
I mean, I typically, if I book the house, I'm like, I've also planned other stuff and I walk in, but I've also not booked the house and gotten the worst room, and that's okay. Like, I think when you book a trip, you agree on the house. Like, you've sent the link. Like, if you send a link to the group and it is very obvious someone's going to have to sleep on a chair in the attic, you don't book the house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we all agree. It tells you, here's where you'll be sleeping. And then everyone's kind of like, will I be okay if I get the shittiest room? You know what I mean? Like, we've all agreed.
Yeah, I wouldn't book a place where like one person is like, I have to sleep out in the outhouse. Like, what kind of places are we booking?
Okay, but also we did a trip where they did break the pricing down based on the type of room you had in the house, which I didn't hate it.
Are you talking like some girls got like a twin bunk bed and somebody got
that
a
kind of thing.
king size bedroom? That's different.
Yeah. That's a way to work stuff out with your friends who maybe have different budgets, where you're like, and that's also a way to kind of, if you are friends that feel more comfortable paying more and you don't want your friends who make less to feel some type of way, you can be like, we booked this house. There's 2 king rooms. We're going to take them. We're going to pay more. Are you guys cool sleeping in the twin bunk beds? Like that's a way to work it out too.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You're on a trip with some single people and some couples. How do you split the money? Is it by room or by people? People are divided on this.
This is really controversial.
Because you and I have gone on a lot of trips like this. You and I have gone on trips with like several couples and a few people that are solo.
It's by people. Like, we go on a trip. So me and Shashank, Sean, Anushka, you, Megan. And there's a
4 bedrooms.
Four bedroom house. We are splitting the cost by 6.
The number of people. I agree.
Yes.
I think it's not, listen, some people are like, well, I shared a room. It's like,
no, this fucking pisses me off. So you have to pay a single tax.
I agree.
That's
totally
you
agree.
have to pay more. Like, again, what I just mentioned, I feel like this sounds a little contradictory from what I mentioned before. Like, the thing about working it out, the room style, that's if you really want to try to like save some people money, like that's really, like, that's your prerogative. That's a strategy to save some people some
That's
money.
different.
Like,
That's a girls' trip. That's not
that's
like
a girls' trip. Yeah.
Different.
I got in a fight about this like years ago. Like, I stayed in a room with a couple. And when I say a room, like, it was actually all open. It was like a cabin. And like, it actually wasn't even hardly 2 rooms. The logistics are not important, but it was even more egregious. And like, they felt like they as a couple should pay half and I should pay half of kind of like this open plan.
That's crazy.
Isn't it crazy? Yes.
A house is a house. You're staying in a house. You split the house.
I just think that's so crazy. Shashank and I are paying half of what you pay. Fuck all the way off.
As
I
two
think
people.
it's so.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so
That's
crazy.
Okay, we solved that.
Couples don't get to pay half.
Go off. Okay. I think we talked about like needing solo time. Listen, just tell your friends I'm going to wander for a little bit solo. It's fine. Everybody deserves a little solo time. I love solo time. So take it. You know, it did come up kind of a couple of times, like people that take a super long time to get ready, or this has not really been an issue for me ever on a trip. I mean, I think my girlfriends and I don't know, don't you feel like we all just kind of like do our makeup together, do our hair together? I've never dealt with somebody that's like, I need 30 more minutes. Like, have you? While you're laughing, I'm like wondering.
No, like you again. Sometimes it comes down to you are traveling with people who are like you.
Totally.
You're traveling with people who are your same maintenance level. But I have had friends that take longer, and they know that, and they start getting ready earlier, and it becomes a joke. Like, you're like, hey, we're all going to start getting ready at 5:30, but you, Tracy, have to start at 4:30 or something.
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of joke about it. But I guess it would be frustrating if it's like always this person that's kind of holding everybody up.
Then it's like, listen, car's coming at 7. You meet us you can meet us at the restaurant. You need an extra 30 minutes.
So there was a morning, you know this, there was a morning where I let Megan sleep because, I mean, everybody, the first day of the trip, like people, jet lag, whatever. She was still sleeping. I'm up, ready to go. And I was ready. I got ready. I put my sunscreen on. I, ran a brush through my hair. I put my outfit on, whatever. I'm ready to walk out the door. I wasn't going to wake her up. I was like, you got to let someone sleep on an international trip, So then as I'm getting ready to walk out the door, she wakes up. And I was like, what do I do? And
I would have laughed. We're so different.
Like, she was like, I need 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'll wait 10 minutes. Like,
yeah.
She also didn't care. She was like, you can go if you're ready. But like 10 is different than 30. If she was like, I'm going to need 30 minutes, I would have been like, I'll meet you on the streets. But I did hate waiting there sitting. But also I was happy to do it. That's my friend. She needed 10 minutes. And it was 10 minutes. But it was like, I texted you like, I'm ready. And I'm just sitting here.
I do just think like so much of this boils down to like, you got to just figure out people's travel styles, or like, I have like great friends I wouldn't travel with, and like they probably wouldn't travel with me. Like, I think I don't know. I compromise pretty well. I'm great. But like,
Yeah,
I think that like, you just have to figure out your travel styles like other people's. You know what drives me absolutely insane in a partner, in a friend, on a trip, anywhere? I am very impatient. When I say I'm ready to go, I am ready to walk out that door right now. A lot of people dawdle. A lot of people need time to like pack their bag and try on an outfit. It makes me feel crazy. I have said I'm ready to leave. I want to walk out that door. And people that take like a long time to get out the door and they forget stuff and they got to go back, I can't deal with it.
Like to
It's
get out
hard
the
for
door
me.
to like go to dinner, or get out the door to check out of the hotel the next day?
To go to dinner. Oh, okay. When I'm like, okay, it's time to leave. There's like people that need like an extra 15 because they got to walk back and forth across
to fill
the
their water
room.
bottle at the, in the
they
airport
need
lounge?
to go. They forgot. They have to go to the bathroom also. And then, I need to go. Oh my God, I forgot my sunglasses. I have to go back. I hate it. It makes me feel crazy. I hate it. And like, I have to do self-talk on girls trips sometimes because like I said to Brittany, because she is very good at this, she is good at just kind of like even if she's annoyed, you just don't read it on her face as much. And I was like, how do you do that? I've never been born that way. If I am like we were at that dinner, it was so hot. We had a dinner and then we went to the bar at the hotel and I wanted to leave so badly. I was like dripping in sweat. I wore a sausage casing to dinner. I knew that outfit was a bad idea. Everybody wanted to go to the bar. I was like, don't say it, don't say it. And I was like, can we leave? Can we leave? And like sometimes things come out of my mouth and I'm like, I don't feel better because I said it. Why did I do that? So sometimes you do on a trip just have to have some self-talk. Like people are on vacation. You got to give them that 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's just chill. Just a few little things, number of people to invite. I mean, I have had great experiences traveling in a trio. Like a few times, like you and I and Meryl and me and you went to Australia. Me and Meryl and Toro went to Mexico City. Like I've had really great experiences with 3. Some people don't like 3. They feel like it's an odd number. Someone can like feel left out. I think 3 is great. I think 4 is my fave.
I think I'm going 6 because every once in a while I like to sit something out. And we said previously, it's weird when there's 3 or 4 of you and somebody sits it out. It is. It's just like
6 is a lot. That's a lot.
I like it. I want my presents to not be missed. I want to be able to sit something out.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on like the length of a trip. I mean, like
yes.
I would like a trip with over a long weekend with 10, 12 girls, like a bachelorette style. Like I love that shit. And then last year in Greece, I mean, I don't know though. It's also just like, how many people were in Greece last year? 10, 12? And we worked it out.
I liked that a lot. I like that big size.
Yeah,
I think that if it's a small amount of people, it should be a shorter trip maybe. So I had like a great trip with Melanie and Emily in Mexico City. It was 3 nights, 2 days. Like a small amount of people. People are like, what if there's 3 of us and somebody doesn't want to do something? It's like in 3 days, there's going to be something you don't want to do. Just do everything.
That's
longer
true. Maybe
than
I do
that.
Like a 5 or 6 though. That is fun. Yeah. I think it just usually ends up being like a 4. And length of time for a trip. I mean, I realize I don't want to be gone for weeks at a time. I just get too tired. Like I need to get back into my routine. Like you can be away longer. I really start to like fade. And I mean, I guess if there's a really long trip, but there's some point in the middle where I can just completely relax and go work out and sleep and feel healthy again and like restart for a second leg. But this past trip was 7 nights and I really liked that. And I mean, our honeymoon was 5 nights. I wish it would have been longer, but like, I just really don't want to do this weeks long trip. But also when you're planning a girls trip, you're not really talking about weeks on end, that's kind of like an irrelevant thing. You can do a really fun weekend trip, 3 nights, whatever it is. But
3 nights is good for me.
Yeah, for me personally, this trip could have been longer, I guess. And I was like, once we hit 7 nights, I was like, that's good. That's enough. And Raina was like, no, what I'm going to do is go to 2 more places.
Yeah, but like it depends on who I'm with. Like I went to do 2 nights by myself and then I'm with my family for 3 nights. That's different to me. I'm also very ready to come home. Like you and I kill ourselves going on tour on top of all the other stuff we do for work. Like I was really looking forward to like taking a long trip and I'm like really ready to go home. I'm really tired. I don't want to eat any more meals out. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. And usually I do like 16 or 17 days in the summer. I spend more time with my family, but this is 12 days. I'm ready to go the fuck home. But with a bunch of girls, I don't know, 3 to 5 days. 5 days max.
Yeah. Yeah. And, just to kind of wrap it up, I mean, people ask about most affordable places, I don't know if I want to be like, you can have fun anywhere. Like, I just don't think no matter if I was with my favorite people in the world, I would have fun in like the sticks of Mississippi. But I mean, I think you can make like a lot of fun, like domestic trips. Like you don't need to go abroad. I mean, we've had the best times of our life in Dewey Beach, Delaware. If you're in the West Coast, so many places in California are so incredible. We had such a great trip at Jackson Hole. That's not that that's
anywhere
cheap,
in California, San Diego, San Francisco, LA, just like anywhere there's like a lot of activities. I mean, I wouldn't go to Florida in the summertime, but
like there's just fun stuff to do anywhere. I mean, we've had the best time. I've had the best food of my life in Portland, Maine. My mom took a trip with all her girlfriends to Minneapolis. She's always going there. Great food, like fun stuff to do. And you can just really make the best of any place. And sometimes it's, if you guys are open, look at where there's cheap flights or look at where there's a resort you want to go to. I mean, like Arizona, it's such a fun place for a girls trip with all the different like spas or resorts and things like that. Like I think you can really find incredible stuff to do that is not a big, expensive international trip.
Go to Mexico City. It'll be one of the best food trips you've ever taken in your life, and it's not expensive at all.
Puerto Rico. I mean, like there's a lot out there.
Newport, Rhode Island. I love Portland, Maine. I think that's a great idea. Anywhere in just like, I don't know, just.
Okay. All right. Raina is fading, you guys.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
All right. Well, that is our travel episode. So hope you guys enjoyed. Girlsgottaeat.com, Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess on Instagram and TikTok. Raina is Raina.Greenberg. Raina Greenberg for those tour tickets, you guys. She has shows at the end of the month and then in the fall. And you can watch a full video of the podcast on Spotify and also on YouTube. And we will see you Thursday.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.